We begin our morning reflection. As always, I'm always grateful to God for each and every one of you. I'm always glad that you're tuned in to 88.3 FM. And as we continue to talk and build our homes and build our families and see what God can be able to do for us as we begin our morning reflection, I'm talking about today simple things that a wife can do. Simple things that a wife can do. And this, dear listener, is actually a continuation of previous reflections that I have done. I began with simple things a father can do. I moved on to simple things that a husband can do. I moved to simple things that a mother can do. That was last week. And this week I'm talking about simple things that a wife can do. Now, why am I talking about simple things? It's because at times we overcomplicate things. At times we overthink things. At times, actually, relationships can be simple. At times, actually, the simplest things make the most effective relationships. Because also, we like to say that it's the small things that break relationships, not the big ones. Always the small things are the ones that break relationships and not the big ones. So today I'm talking about simple things that a wife can do. And if at all you didn't get my other reflection, please find it online about simple things that a husband can do. I think they're very good if they can be read together or if we can go through them together. Because there are things we can do, dear listener, that can be able to bring our families back, bring our homes back, that don't require money. They only require our time, our attention, and our effort. Our time, our attention, and our effort. They are very simple things. Number one, things that every wife can and will be able to do is to intercede for her husband. Intercede for your husband. Never underestimate the power of a praying woman. Never underestimate the power of a praying woman, especially a praying wife. I always say a praying mother and a praying wife. Those are two very powerful people on this planet. And at times you can find that most husbands don't have anyone who actually prays for them. Not praying for them because they are out in the pub. Not praying for them because they're having affairs. No, just basically praying for them that they may be able to encounter the Lord in whatever they are doing, that they may see a particular blessing. Because many times whenever we are standing in the gap for our spouses, many times we are always binding and unbinding, casting out devils and arresting spirits, doing all sorts of things that at times maybe our partners just need to know, I'm praying for you today. You're going for that business meeting, I'll be standing in the gap for you. You're going for this, I'll be praying for you. And I've also ever said that, I also once ever talked about how to pray, how to effectively pray for your spouse. And I said, number one, when they're listening to you pray for them, let them hear you pray good things about them. Let them hear you thank God for them. Let them hear you declare good things over their lives. Not every time they hear you pray for them, you're always chasing after something, arresting something, coming against something. At times, my dear friends, it's easier when a husband knows that my wife prays for me, that my wife's prayers move me to where I am. That's a very important thing, because potentially, again, there might be a possibility that no one is praying for your husband if you're not praying for him. Number two, occasionally initiate sex. Occasionally initiate sex. I'm putting the word occasionally at the very beginning because the natural structure of the human system, the way we work, many a times it is men who initiate sex. But when I say occasionally initiate sex, it is because every human being wants to be wanted and wants to be desired. The same case applies to your husband. There are times he wants to feel desired. There are times he wants to feel like you see him and you're attracted to him physically. And there are moments when he's also maybe feeling down, has low self-esteem, and he wants you to be able to initiate it, because if you initiate intimacy, then you speak to his heart. You tell him, I still look at you the same way. I still see someone attractive, because there are people who have never, ever tried to initiate in any single way. It comes to a place your husband gets tired because he thinks, I'm the only one who normally wants this. She never wants this, I'm the only one who wants it. What about Strukai? Then after a while, we begin cases of, if you're not coming home, then where do you go? But when's the last time that you initiated? If you speak to any man right now, any married man right now, they'll tell you that there are moments when they want their wives to initiate sex because it makes them feel wanted. It makes them feel attractive. It makes them know that they're desired by you. Initiation, dear listener, can come in many ways. It can come in the way you talk, the way you dress, your whole attitude, your whole attitude in the house, the way you touch him, such small things. talking, dressing, such small things can be able to show that I am interested in you. It's a simple thing that a wife can do. It's a simple thing that can be done. Number 3, my personal favorite, is be his friend. Be his friend. Now, I once gave a reflection on radio, I think 2 years ago. And it was a woman's crash course to a man's world. And it was a bit of acrimony. When I said something that is actually a fact, that to a man, friendship precedes everything. To a man, friendship precedes everything. Unlike how it is wired opposite, that and many women make this mistake to think that because I'm married to you, because I am your wife, I am number one. No. If you are his friend and you are his wife, then you are number one. If you're only his wife and he has other friends, then you are not number one, because a man will do anything for his friends. Men value friendship more than anything else. Why did he marry you? The reason why he married you is because he saw a wife and a friend in you. He saw a wife and a friend in you. That's why he married you. Now, what happens in marriage is that people abandon friendship. Wives abandon friendship and pursue being a wife. You can't abandon friendship. What does friendship mean? Friendship means that be interested in what interests him. Enter into his world, and don't enter into his world to prefect his world, not enter his world to supervise his world. Enter his world to know him. If he likes watching football, watch football with him. Likes watching a movie, watch a movie with him. It's important to be his friend. Don't sacrifice friendship. Dear listener, remember this. If you're a wife, listen to me right now. A man will do anything for his friend. Don't assume that because you're his wife, he puts you first. But if you're his wife and you maintain friendship through the marriage, ensure you do whatever it takes to maintain friendship. Enter his world. Know what he likes to do. Do it with him. Allow him to be your friend and be his friend also. That is very important. It's a simple thing you can do. And I've seen marriages being saved by this. If I can just say, as I say, it's my personal favorite, because I have seen marriages rescued by friendship. I've seen marriages on the brink of divorce. And the moment the wife says, okay, fine, what can I do? And I tell her, be his friend. Do this, do this, do this. Simple things, you find that the marriage comes back to life. So be his friend. It's a simple thing you can do. And number 4, before I go on this very short break, is remind him more of his achievements than his failures. Remind him more of his achievements than his failures. This sounds easy, but it's not as easy, because it's an issue in many marriages where a husband is constantly reminded by his wife how much he has failed. Yet there are few things he has done well in his life. But he'll be reminded, because he failed to pay electricity, he'll be reminded how he doesn't pay electricity, how he's the most responsible person, how irresponsibilities in their family tree, and many things will come. And many men struggle with this, because at times, as I say this, and I like saying this every time, that as a wife, your husband will not go beyond your words. He will never live above your words. If you call him irresponsible, he will never become responsible. Not to you. To someone else, he might be, but he'll never go above your words. So at times it's important to remind him of his achievements. Remind him of the kind of man you saw, the man you married. Remind him of the good things he has done. Reminding of the good things he has done makes him not approach you with judgment. Makes him approach you more peacefully, because he knows, she sees what I do. I'm not perfect, but she sees what I do. Because understand this, dear listener, that your husband has made a few good choices in his life. And one of them is that he chose you. And you said yes. So on the bare minimum, at least we can start from there. But speak more about what he has done right. Speak more about what he has done well. Even when you're correcting him, remind him. Tell him, you always do these good things. Today you've done this bad one. It is easier to communicate, dear listener. After this break, I will give you the remaining points. Stay tuned. And I'm Victor Salamba. This very wonderful Friday, 25th day of September, dear listener. As we continue with our morning reflection this wonderful day, remember again, I'm saying this, that you will be able to find this reflection on my Facebook page, Victor Salamba, during the course of this day. You will find it during the course of this day, and also on my Facebook page, Victor Salamba, during the course of the day. If you want to via WhatsApp as well, the number is 0748 330 300. But you can be able to get this reflection if you want it via WhatsApp. Dear listener, we move on. And the number 5 point on simple things that a wife can do. Remember, I said this is a continuation of the reflection I did last week, which is simple things a mother should do. And after the other week, which was simple things a husband can do. So it's part of the same series. So it's important that you get all of them to understand where I am coming from with this. Number 5 is this: respect him as a person, even if he does not deserve it. Respect him as a person, even if he does not deserve it. Now, this is the thing I've said that can cause a riot. The president said it would cause a riot. Why? It's because many a times it's difficult to respect someone who doesn't deserve to be respected. But you have to reconcile one fact as a wife. But your husband is not perfect, but is a human being with shortcomings. And others have bigger shortcomings than others. But it is important that on the bottom line, respect him as a person. Respect him as a person. Then after you respect him as a person, you can now move to the next level and say, then I'll respect you as my husband, or I'll respect you as the father of my children. But on the bare minimum, respect your husband as a person. Because remember also, disrespecting him does not change anything that he has done. If he is irresponsible, disrespecting him does not change the fact that he is irresponsible. In fact, disrespecting him makes you just like him. But when you choose to respect him, even when it does not deserve respect, it makes you better than he is. It makes you at a position that is stronger than his. Because the moment I choose to disrespect you, I don't change you when I disrespect you. I provoke you. Because when I disrespect you, I lose moral authority. But I can respect you. Respect you doesn't mean that I bow when I see you. No. Respecting you means that you're a fellow human being, and I'll take time to respect you. I will listen to you. I will do whatever I can within my wisdom to ensure that, yes, we have differences. Yes, you've made a mistake. Yes, you're not perfect. But I will not be drawn to a place of disrespect. And also an important point is this: but all men are drawn towards respect. All men are drawn towards respect the same way all women are drawn towards security. All men are drawn towards respect. Number 6, manage the home. Manage the home. Now, again, I go back to something very simple. This is something very simple that every wife can and should be able to do. As a wife, you might not be able to do everything in the house actively. I always understand that. And whenever I give my talks to couples, I say I understand. In fact, with the way the world is now, 2020, there are many things happening, and it's difficult at times to be able to do everything in the house the way we saw our grandmothers do. But there's something that comes with it, is that you can manage. You can actually manage your home. The same way you manage the bank, the same way you manage your business, the same way you can be able to manage your home. This means that you are in full control of that environment and the running of your home. Either you are doing it through supervision or active participation. Through supervision or active participation. The point is this: that as a wife, you are all hands on deck. Nothing happens in your empire that you don't know about. This is very important, because one of the things that also is making marriages strain, and many cases I deal with, is the absence of a home manager. It is the wife who turns the house into a home. And as I say again, I understand that in this day and age, many things happen. We have careers, we have jobs, all these things. As I said, you can manage the house either actively or through a supervising role. Either way, it means this: I know how my house runs. I have my house at the back of my hands. I have developed systems. The same way I developed systems at the office to work, I have developed systems in my house that can make my house work. Number 7, create a safe place for him to be himself. This is a basic need and a basic thing that every wife can and should be able to do. This means that the environment, the house, the nest, is controlled and governed by you as a wife. You determine the tone, the language, and the attitude. Because your tone, your language, and the attitude as a wife can either create the house into a complete war zone that your husband doesn't want to come back to, or you can create your house to be a place where your husband wants to come back to. Now, this can be a discussion for a very long afternoon. But one thing that I've known from my research and also the number of people that I see is that at the end of the day, you want the house to go back home to. And one simple thing that a wife can do is to create a safe place. To create a safe place where your husband can come and be himself. He can come and be him, that he doesn't feel as though he has to run to go to the pub and be himself. He doesn't have to go to a mistress's house to be himself. That I've made the house, the atmosphere that I've built in this house is an atmosphere that wants you to come home. Now, remember as well, dear listener, that at times the person might not cooperate with the things you're trying to do. The person might fail to cooperate with the things that you're trying to do. You know, and also remember, you might fail to cooperate with what they are trying to do. But the bottom line is this, that there are simple things we all can try to do in small doses that can be able to save, rescue, and re-energize our families. Dear listener, stay tuned to 88.3 FM. This is Waumini Salford. I'm Victor Salamba.